there, and welcome again to Transform Your Spaces with Lauren. Hope you are having a fantastic day. We're going to go with our third segment of Transforming Your Spaces, and we're paying homage, of course, to Black History Month. The beautiful picture behind me speaks to what we're going to talk about with my client. It's called contentment. Yes. Contentment with color. So on our Spotify segment, I had the honor to have a guest. My guest was Elise Dixon Roper, and we had a wonderful time redefining her space. So that's what we're calling this segment, is redefining your space. The Ropers have been in this house for about 20 some odd years and was looking to, again, update. And as she talked about so eloquently, she didn't think she was going to do all of what she did. So I guess the main focus was really the kitchen, and then it just catapulted from there. So I'm going to show some pictures of before and after. And again, she really expressed how she really wanted this space to work for her and bring it up to date. I think one of the main things that I want to talk about from that segment was really understanding budget, understanding where things have grown in price. And then also we talked about accessories. And again, I just think accessories is just like the stamp on the envelope. It is the cherry on top. It is defined that way. It just adds an extra little shush, a pop to your space. And Elise did it really well. We started with and what her vision was for the kitchen, updating the panels of the cabinets and redefining her island. So it was not only functional, but brought great light to it. I believe it was a darker color at the beginning, and we put a beautiful ceramic slab on it, and it's just beautiful. One of the other things that we talked about was, of course, how things have risen in cost and really not knowing how to be able to implement what that looks like. And so again, with furniture on the rise, just like anything else, we just wanted to really make sure that we stayed within a comfortable budget for the family. And we believe we got what we wanted and achieved what we wanted and stayed within the budget that they were comfortable with. Accessories. Accessories was a big thing for this project, just making sure we brought color to every space because it really speaks to their aesthetic. And so there are lots of warm tones that we did not want to get away with, but we wanted to have a clean style, updated style. So we did that with the paint. It was a warm tone gray that's going throughout the home. And then we still went with accent walls. So you definitely can do that. You just don't want to do too much of it, or you want to make sure that when you're doing an accent wall, that particular color is flowing throughout the space. So where we started in the kitchen with the grayish and warmish tones of hues of beautiful taupes and things like that, we gravitated into the family space where you see this huge, beautiful pop of color that is the fireplace. And it just really is dramatic, but it becomes the king in the room, actually. And but with that, with all the artwork that's in this room, it just really does a beautiful display of bringing it all together. The sofa that we chose are very warm tones. The pillows give you a great pop of color, but more texture. Texture is everything too. All right, so it's texture, it's color, it's making sure that you have a great balance with it. And that balance came with the leather ottoman, which is beautifully made. It does bring an extra element of texture into the room as well. One of the other things that we did was updating accessories was the lighting in the dining room. Just beautiful piece. We knew right away that was the piece for this space. Sometimes it's trial and error. And we had a little bit of trial and error when it came to the rug elements and things like that. It took a few minutes to be able to get it, but when we did and laid it down, it came together very well. I think I try to convey with all my clients is making sure that there's a trust value there. Sometimes I can see something a little bit different and they have to trust me to see if we can go that way. And then also that goes back and forth. You have to trust the client. The client has something in their mind and let's try it their way. If it doesn't work that way, we can always change it. And I think that's one of the great things about design. You really have to make sure that the client that you're working with, you have a great relationship with, and a trust factor is there. So you can put your shoulders down. So there are times where I can say no, and you have to know where that kind of lies. You've built that relationship where I can say flat out, client will ask you, I really like this table. Will you think this table will work in your space? And no, that's not the way that we're going. That particular table is way too contemporary for what we're doing in your space. And so again, it's not a shock value based upon a relationship that you're building. And I think that's just absolutely crucial. So that puts me towards the other piece that we talked about in our Spotify segment, and that was the powder room. Elise and I went back and forth when it came to the powder room. As I said in one of our other segments, that wallpaper is definitely in. It can be as bold as you want or as subtle as you want. I've seen so many beautiful, extraordinary patterns of wallpaper, and the one that was chosen was I was a little bit taken back when I first saw it. We did a lot of, how we say, messaging each other and putting each other on camera so I can see some of the pieces that Elise chose. And before I knew it, it was up, it was done. That same color of the gold content that was in the family room went right into the bathroom, just blended very well with this very bold yet unique pattern. And we were able to find some beautiful pieces as we did some art festivals that just would just blow you away. Actually, this is one of the pieces that we found as well. And just the powder room just came together just absolutely beautifully. Just being honest with you. Everything is really blending together, and we put a little bit of softness in there with some accessories and a plant. How about that, right? It's beautiful. But that was the shocking part. We went back and forth with it again. But again, it was a trust factor. And again, I'm just going to say it again because it needs to be said. Trust yourself, but trust your designer as well. Sometimes there are times where you really want to push the envelope and be open to it. Okay? All right. Again, this was a labor of love. Elise and I have been friends for several years, and how to be able to have that personal relationship, but have the business relationship really did again work well. And a lot of my clients have become my friends because we worked well together and we had a great time together, and we want to keep it going. So this was redefining the spaces. In between me talking, I'm sure you'll see all the different pictures and even videos of the space so you can see the transformation of that. Happy Black History Month. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you again real soon.